HireUA.
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 Unbelievable benefits from working with you and hiring from you.
The best part was just how quick everything got lined up.
You guys basically in our corner was huge.
Many different candidates.
Quality of talent's very high.
So much easier than trying to hire off Upwork and things like that.
The overall experience was really smooth.
I definitely recommend you talk to HireUA and Kyle and his team.
Hey guys, Kyle here. I'm the founder at HireUA, and I've got one of our clients, Anthony, on the line now. We're going to be talking a little bit about his recent graphic design placement for his email marketing company. Thanks for coming on, Anthony. I appreciate the time.
Of course, man. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited to talk about kind of the whole process, how everything went, and hopefully we can give some good information and get some clarity to exactly how the process works.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you and I talked originally maybe in October before Black Friday, and then you brought a graphic designer on kind of in early December after the Black Friday period. So typically one of the claims we have is we place people just extremely quickly at an extremely good price. Can you talk just a little bit about the process that you went through with my team as far as the job description, sourcing, scheduling, and then bringing that person on?
Oh man, the biggest thing I would say was headache free. That's the best way to describe it. I forgot who I talked to, but she was able to handle all the heavy lifting. Literally, I mean, it was as easy as 1, 2, 3. Like, I talked to, I think her name was Valentina. Yeah, that's what it was. We got everything scheduled. We got it on the books. All I had to do was basically show up to the appointments. I had a few questions scheduled out just for exactly what I was looking for. Make sure that they had some qualifications and make sure that we fit. I was really looking for long-term placement. So I wanted to make sure that they fit the culture. Of course, went from there. Picked. I think there was 7 or 8 that we went through, and you had some more lined up, but I found the one and kind of knew right away, just based off of the vibe, based off the credentials, that she was the one, and just went from there.
Nice. Have you tried to hire for this position before off of like Upwork or Fiverr? Had you done that? I can't remember.
No, I hadn't, because from my experience, it's either people who are really underqualified or people who are kind of overqualified, people who are experts on there, and obviously that costs a pretty penny. I'm at a point in my agency where I'm looking for kind of the best of both worlds, and it's really hard to find. It's something you kind of have to find a diamond in the rough kind of thing.
Yeah, I think definitely you see a lot of people these days, underqualified, and that's because they've got like one person on Upwork or on Fiverr, and they've got 20 people below them, and they're just churning out pure volume because that's the play for them, right? So I think that is something a lot of people are finding is an issue. Are you finding just in general, like email marketing, it is a very common placement. Now, a lot of people want email marketers. It's very specific the way that you guys are doing things. Like, would you say that that's a skill of designers who can design emails for e-com companies? Is that something that's really in demand from an agency perspective?
Oh, 100%, and especially finding someone who can do it, with kind of everything, right? Kind of speed, making sure that they can do it fast enough, making sure they can understand the core competencies of email design. It's really different than designing ad content. You're talking to most of the time a completely different audience, people who are already familiar with you. So it's completely different than some of the other aspects. So finding someone who can do it with the speed, with the know-how, and for the price is really the trifecta.
Any idea how much it would cost to hire somebody to do that stateside?
I mean, I was looking around for someone who was going to be skilled, because that's really what it came down to. Is like, there was really no best of both worlds in my scenario. It was hire someone who's expensive but really knows what they're doing, or hire someone who would kind of have to train, and the learning curve would be there. Whether they could actually do it in the end or not would be there. I would say for what I was looking around at, it would have cost anywhere from $2,500 a month to $5,500, depending if I was looking for someone to do it full-time or part-time. It got pricey. It got really pricey.
Yeah. I mean, just for some perspective on that too, at the price that you engaged us with, that is half of that low end of the budget you just gave.
Exactly.
And only about 20% of the high end budget you gave there.
Exactly. Oh, no, I was going to say too, like, if you work with the right person, most of the time, if there's set hours, hey, we're doing this part-time, hey, we're doing this many hours, most of the time they'll go above and beyond for you. They're really looking to build something long-term, and I found that was the case for me. Is there wasn't really as much a time limit on the work. It was more so just quality. It was making sure that it was done correctly. So I got pretty lucky, but overall, everything went well.
Yeah, I think it's been a real trend recently too. Just a lot of email marketing companies, a lot of e-commerce stores and brands are realizing that email is a really powerful way to sell. And I think a lot of them have underutilized that in the past years, because previously a lot of people could pretty much just run straight cold Facebook ads straight to a product page and people were just buying. But it needs to be a little more nuanced now, because people have kind of caught on to that. Yeah.
Man, people can make, you can make $1 million from a single Facebook ad in 2016. It was just, it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
And, people say, this is dead, that's dead. Nothing is dead. It's just, the people who aren't the best in the world, people who aren't really world class at whatever it is, right? Whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's email marketing, whether it's Shopify website design, if you're not best in class, competition's steep. So you're going to get put out. So yeah, it's definitely a competitive landscape.
Yeah. What do you do as a business owner if you are in this position of you're stuck with either Upwork or Fiverr, or you have to pay something really expensive? I mean, is this a predicament that you have seen yourself before? Are you continuing to see it? Like, it's just hard to get ahead, right?
It is. Agency space in particular is very hard because it's a people game and it's a money game, right? It's, how well can you manage cash flow? How well can you understand, okay, here's what needs to be done. Here's what I need. Here's how much it's going to cost, and really balance that out versus how much you're going to bring in projected. There's sometimes you bring on someone new, sometimes you lose a client. It's, it can be up and down. It's never 100% stable. So I would say it's just a situation where you have to weigh it out. And in my case, this was kind of the scenario. It's right. It's like eat shit. Hopefully I can curse on here. Eat shit and pay someone who's really good who can free up my time, or eat shit and keep doing the work and have no time for sales, have limited time for any extra fulfillment. It was really a double-ended sword. So I'm really glad that we got to connect. Yeah. A situation where it gave me a jump start I feel like most people don't have, because you're able to work with someone who can free up your time and still save 2 to 5 times what it would cost you elsewhere. So it was a lifesaver for sure.
It's a vicious cycle, man. I tell you, it's like you got to outreach and you got to go hard, and then you've got a couple clients that come on, and then all of a sudden, as the business owner, if you're the only one, then you're doing all the fulfillment, which means your outreach stops, which means then when you've done the fulfillment, you've got to start from zero, and you've lost all that momentum that you had with the outreach and the sales process, and it's like starting at zero again. And then of course you've got clients who are, they need more work, more fulfillables, more deliverables, and you've got to just go in this horrible cycle round and round. And like you said, it's if you're looking at, $5,000 or more for someone full time in the States to do it for you, it's just not feasible for a lot of small agency owners.
I mean, there's no way. And the biggest thing too is I had the strategy nailed down. I had the copywriting nailed down. I had the sales nailed down, the system and processes, everything was good. My biggest bottleneck was design. So, the fact that I could bring someone on who, I can continue to do it myself and continue to work 10, 12, sometimes 14-hour days or more if necessary. I really try and keep it down. But if that's necessary, do that. But still, at some point, you're bottlenecked by your own abilities, right? Your own
hours in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, like how fast you can learn, right? I was trying to learn design. It wasn't my skill set, but again, just the hours that it takes. And can you do that fast enough to where you can make up the delta of, we're bringing in people who are really looking for design heavy emails. I can't do that. To be able to bring someone in almost overnight. I mean, I think it took us 7 days to really get a good rhythm, to make sure that we're understanding core competencies, and to implement them into your business. It really gives you a jump start over, and really an advantage, which is what most agencies need over other, agencies and other freelancers, is the ability to bring someone in and have them up and running and basically double your skill set in 7 days.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your experience with HireUA, man. Really appreciate it. Go to hire-ua.com if you're looking to hire some premium talent for an email, e-commerce, agency marketing, or really any position out there that you possibly need. We can get you up and going in about 5 business days. And again, you'll save 70-80% off normal hiring costs. Thanks again for coming on, man. I really appreciate you sharing your experiences with us.